Willkommen und Grand Rising. Werte Zuschauer, ich denke, niemand muss durch das, was wir Leben nennen, alleine durchgehen. Die Videos, die wir heute sehen werden, sollen unseren Horizont erweitern und uns anregen, Fragen zu stellen. Ich kämpfe nicht gegen die Welt. Ich möchte nur, dass wir sie zusammen transformieren können. Wir werden heute mehrere Videos sehen und es geht weiterhin um das Thema Kalender und Zeit an sich. Alles, was Sie hier sehen, ist natürlich nur zu Unterhaltungszwecken bestimmt und ich bin kein Guru. Ich denke, wir sind alle genug und ganz. Viele haben dies nur vergessen. Genug geredet. Kommen wir nun zum ersten Video. Viel Spaß!
We are not in 2025, and I can prove this. The word calendar comes from the Roman word calens. Calens was the day of the month the Romans had to pay their taxes to the Roman Empire. So the calendar we use today was created to make us a slave, so that we can become a part of a slave system. The calendar that we use today is called the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is a copyrighted false timeline. It's a man-made, therefore it's copyrighted. And that timeline is copyrighted, and guess what? It's on your birth certificate, which means your birth certificate on paper is underneath the copyright of the Gregorian system, the Roman Empire. We used to have a lunar calendar, lunar cycle. We have man-made things, the Gregorian calendar, and we have God-made things, which is the cycle of the moon and the cycle of the heavens. This is the true calendar that we need to use, and it proves we're not in 2025. Because if we look at the word month, the word M-O-N comes from the root word of moon or moonth, because the moon has a 28-day cycle. It goes from a new moon all the way to a full moon, back to a new moon in 28-day cycles. And if we do 365 days a year, divided by 28 equals 13, which means we have 13 months or moon cycles every single year, which means we have a missing month. They removed one of the months to create a 12-month cycle for the Gregorian calendar. The reason why I think they did this is to remove our connection to the heavens. They do not want our bodies, our minds, our consciousness in sync with these heavenly bodies, because we can use the moon to our advantage. Full moon is when the subconscious mind is wide open, and you can use the full moon to implant new messages, new beliefs into your subconscious mind. Now, if you notice the Matrix, they always do bad things and rituals on this day to implant negative messages into your subconscious. The sun is a God-designed clock, an intelligently based design. The sun tells the time of the day, the moon tells the day of the month, and the stars tell you the month of the year. They do not want us in sync with the heavenly intelligences.
If you're seeing this before August 23rd, save this. August 23rd marks the new moon in Virgo, a reset point for your subconscious. New moons are like blank pages, but Virgo energy makes this one especially powerful for reprogramming your mind with clarity, focus, and discipline. Astrologers call this a time when the universe quiets down, the skies go dark, and your subconscious is most open to new instructions. That's why whatever you plant in your mind now has the power to grow faster than usual. On the night of the 23rd, write down one belief that's been holding you back. Then cross it out and replace it with the truth you actually want to live by. As you do this, repeat these words 3 times in your head. My new story begins now. And say this before bed on the 23rd. I release the old. I program the new. My mind is my power, and I choose to rise. And if you want to make this practice effortless without even having to repeat affirmations, click the link in our bio to access a tool that reprograms your subconscious while you sleep.
Did you know Ethiopia isn't living in 2025? It's 2017 by choice. While the world synced its clocks to the west, Ethiopia kept its own rhythm. It was never colonized. Ethiopians were carving churches into mountains centuries before Europe built cathedrals. Their calendar, 13 months, not Roman, not Gregorian, just Ethiopian. 12 months of 30 days, a 13th month to balance the sky, guided by astronomy, not empire. In a world that erased its roots, Ethiopia didn't just keep time, it kept its soul.
Fuck the Gregorian calendar, January, February, March, and April. All of these names are Roman gods, I don't fuck with the months, take that shit off the table. January name after Janus, a two-faced god, the protectors of doorways and gates. Fair word, they had a festival, they sacrificed for bruised animals, he had 8. March was named after Roman god Mars, the god of war, please open your eyes. April for Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, man, all of these months are just lies. Damn, this too much fuckery, made for the Roman god Maya, she was the goddess of earth. Junus for Juno, no Roman numeral, this shit gotta go and worship it no more. July was named after Julius Caesar, damn, ain't that about a bitch? August, named after Augustus Caesar, Julius' nephew, what the hell is this? September, comes from the word September, means 7 in Latin, but this ain't the jackpot. October means 8, but this is the 10th month, dumbass niggas could not count at all. November means 9, but this the 11th month, no I can't follow this calendar no more. December means 10, but this is the 12th month, throw this whole shit away, it is time to go. Now you see the truth in plain sight, we've been worshiping Roman gods this whole fucking time. Make sure that you listen, cause I am not tripping, I just know how to put the truth in my rhymes. Sinners are someone that don't know nothing about calendars, put them on game. What calendar should I do next, cause we need to know about them all, cause this one is lame. I don't subscribe to this bullshit, I was just born in this system, the Matrix. They conquered us, now they got all of us worshiping all of their gods, all these spells about to break them.
Have you seen this 13-month calendar depicted in a 1775 Bible? It intriguingly positions Sunday as the week's start, March as the year's initial month, not January, and outlines a year as comprising 13 months rather than the 12 we're accustomed to. Such changes prompt the question, why was there a shift, and who instigated this alteration? There's a belief that this adjustment was deliberate, aimed at detaching us from a deeply embedded cultural rhythm, thereby unsettling societal balance and harmony. If this holds truth, it implies that the holidays we observe, rooted in ancient traditions, may now be out of sync with their original timing. Consider the impact on the significance of religious celebrations like Christmas and Easter. While countries such as Ethiopia adhere to the 13-month calendar, marking Christmas on January 7th rather than December 25th, it raises curiosity about the accuracy of our current calendar.
The number 13 being called unlucky is one of the biggest lies we've been told. 13 has been erased from everything. Elevators, airplanes, calendars, even our consciousness. And that is why our world feels out of sync, out of harmony. Friday the 13th is feared. There's no 13th floor in buildings, no row 13 on some planes, no room 13 in hospitals. We're trained to fear it. Yet nature runs on 13. The moon orbits Earth 13 times a year. Women's bodies follow 13 cycles a year. Even the zodiac once had a 13th sign, Ophiuchus, cut out of the sky. Mary Magdalene, the 13th apostle, erased from the story. 13 also appears in the Fibonacci sequence, the code found throughout all of nature. To erase 13 is to erase our connection to natural time, the cycles of the moon, the body, the earth, and the seasons. It's to erase the principle of renewal itself. By demonizing 13, we were conditioned to fear the very key that brings us back into balance. Bring it back into your consciousness, because 13 isn't bad luck. It's the forgotten code of the universe.
So, die Erkenntnisse aus den ersten Videos sind für mich klar. Wir sind durch unseren Kalender nicht mehr so mit der Natur verbunden, wie es sein könnte. Es hat für mich auch noch nie Sinn gemacht, warum das Jahr im Januar beginnen soll, in der tiefsten Dunkelheit und Kälte. Nein, im Frühling beginnt das Jahr für mich wirklich. Außerdem war mir schon immer unterbewusst klar, dass Vollmondzeit eine tiefere Bedeutung hat auf unser Leben. Vollmondtage und Nächte waren schon immer seltsam für mich. Aber jeder soll sich selbst seine Meinung bilden. Weiter geht's mit den nächsten Videos.
Ist Weihnachten ein heidnisches Fest? Viele Weihnachtselemente sind älter als der historische Jesus selbst. Die Wintersonnenwende in dieser Zeit, Lichterfeste, Grünzeug wie Tanne und Mistel, das alles gab es vorher in den germanischen Julfesten oder in den römischen Saturnalien. Das christliche Fest wurde erst später in diese Zeit gelebt und so vermischten sich alte und neue Traditionen. Die Bibel liefert kein klares Geburtsdatum, aber ein Hinweis. In jener Nacht waren die Hirten mit ihren Schafen draußen auf der Weide. Das klingt in Judäa eher nach Frühling. Womöglich erfahren wir eines Tages, dass der wahre Geburtstag Christi das wahre Silvester ist, denn ich lege noch einen drauf, das Jahr beginnt eigentlich im Frühling und nicht im Winter. 1582 führte Papst Gregor XIII. Den gregorianischen Kalender ein, um einen astronomischen Fehler im julianischen Kalender zu korrigieren. Einige sagen, um die Steuererhebung neu zu regeln. Kalender kommt auch von den römischen Kalenden. Das ist der erste Tag im Monat gewesen, an dem die Schulden ausgerufen wurden. Und wenn man sich die Namen September, Oktober, November, Dezember anschaut, darin stecken die Zahlen 7, 8, 9 und 10. Aber wie wir wissen, fallen sie auf die Monate 9 bis 12. Eigentlich, wenn man drüber nachdenkt, müsste das Jahr aus 13 Monaten A A4 Wochen, 28 Tage bestehen. Jeder würde ein 13. Gehalt bekommen. Es wäre viel besser mit dem Mondzyklus abgestimmt. Monat bedeutet auch Mond und nicht nur mit dem Zyklus, by the way. Jeder Monat würde mit dem gleichen Wochentag anfangen, Montag. Aber wer weiß, vielleicht ist am Ende aller Tage der 1. April der wahre Jahresanfang, weil wir Narren die Zeit falsch rechnen und nicht checken, wem unsere Zeit wirklich gehört, dem Vatikan. Was bedeutet Vatikan nochmal? Ja, Freunde, das alles wirft kein besonders gutes Licht auf Christentum, hat aber nichts mit Christus zu tun, der bekanntlich das Licht der Welt ist. Ich persönlich brauche nicht seinen wahren Geburtstag zu kennen, um jährlich seine Geburt zu feiern. Wie ist das, was schlecht ist? Der Meister der Verwirrung könnte wollen, dass dieses ganze Menschenwerk dich von Jesus fernhält. Lass das nicht zu, wirf das Baby nicht mit dem Badewasser raus. Frohe Weihnachten.
This science experiment proved your entire life is a complete lie. In 1962, scientist Michael Siffer exposed something so crazy people called him insane. He descended hundreds of feet underground into a cave with no sunlight, no clocks, no way to tell day from night. He set up a tent and began living in total isolation. He ate when he was hungry, slept when he was tired, no routine, no schedule, no cues from the outside world. Without time, his days warped, some stretching to 48 hours, others collapsing to just 18. His body and mind built their own rhythm, completely untethered from the world above. After 2 months, his team finally came to get him, and he couldn't understand why. According to his tracking, only 35 days had passed.
I'm about to blow your mind with this one.
The ancient Babylonians had a big celebration, almost 2 weeks long, where they celebrated the new year around springtime in March or April and would make resolutions. And they were small. So pay off like small debts. They would make sort of small vows about better behavior. And the Romans would do the same thing.
In 46 BC, Julius Caesar created a new Roman calendar that started the new year on the first day of January. January was named for the Roman god Janus, whose two faces look forward and back.
That's really important for how we think about New Year's as a kind of taking stock and starting again.
Were these kind of traditions about making the people happy or making the gods happy?
These are primarily about making the gods happy. And that's really what New Year's is about. It's a kind of supernatural spring cleaning.
That's why Paul said, I bear them witness, for they got a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. People are out here pleasing other gods with New Year's resolutions, New Year's parties, January 1st, and have no idea that they are doing it because they don't have that knowledge of God. And when you don't have the knowledge of God, you are bound to establish your own righteousness and be in all midst of sin and enjoying it and having no idea that you are on your way to the lake of fire when you meet Christ.
13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a fourfold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh.
People spend the day waiting for evening, the week waiting for Friday, the year waiting for summer, and a lifetime waiting for happiness. But happiness is not waiting in the next holiday or the coming weekend. It is not somewhere ahead of you. It is now. You see, the habit of postponing joy is the habit of missing life. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no such thing. There is only this moment and what you choose to make of it. And when you understand that, you don't wait for happiness, you practice it.
Roughly around here, we start to work. And we work. We keep working all the way until we're 65 years old. So as you can see, that is most of your life. So it is very important to spend this time doing something that you love. Being a kid is nice. retiring is nice. But what about the years in between? These should not be just a write-off and just waiting for Friday and just get through it and can't wait till retirement, because once those years are gone, they're gone. What I'm saying is, if you're working at a job that you hate just for a paycheck, then you need to make a change in your life.
Ist die Zeit eine Illusion? Ich denke schon. Eine Minute kann sich wie eine Stunde anfühlen. Manchmal fühlt sich eine Stunde aber wie eine Minute an. Und das Paradoxe ist auch, dass alles im Jetzt geschieht. Das bedeutet, die Vergangenheit ist abgeschlossen, man kann sie nicht verändern. Darüber nachzudenken, zieht nur deine Energien. Und genauso ist es mit der Zukunft. Ja, man kann sie planen, okay, aber im Endeffekt kommt es immer anders und zu lange drüber nachzudenken, zieht auch deine Energien. Also im Endeffekt passiert alles im Jetzt. Man hat immer im gegenwärtigen Moment die Möglichkeit, ja, zu entscheiden zwischen falsch oder richtig, zwischen Veränderung und Stillstand. In diesem Sinne, weiter geht's.
They tend not to speak about this very openly. Not because it is forbidden, but because it is disarmingly simple. You see, most people believe they must first achieve something in order to feel at ease enough to act clearly. But if you watch closely, you'll notice that clear action only arises when you stop arguing with the present moment. So here is the experiment. Instead of asking, how do I get what I want? Ask something much quieter. What is the most obvious next step if I stop trying to prove myself? Not the grand plan, not the final result, just the next simple move.
One of the most powerful things you can do is become the person who would have protected you when you needed it most. Think about what you needed back then. Someone to stand up for you. Someone to tell you it wasn't your fault. Someone to make you feel safe. No one showed up. So now you become that person. You learn to set boundaries because no one protected yours. You learn to speak up because no one spoke for you. You create the safety you never had. You give the love you never got. This isn't about living in the past. It's about healing it. When you become the protector you needed, you break the cycle. You stop waiting for someone to save you, because you've already saved yourself. The child version of you needed somebody who was strong, so you became strong. That's the deepest kind of healing there is.
1971, God called me to preach. Lay in bed when I'm minding my own business. You've been there too, huh? And God said, if I want you to preach, I'd say, Lord, I can preach. Lord, I talk, but the Lord people can't understand me, Lord. I held cerebral palsy. Can you imagine me telling God I held cerebral palsy? I got from the beginning, God said, really? You got to be kidding. Tell me something I don't know, big boy. And I'd say, God, if you want me to preach, take a second look and then call me. He took that second look and he still called me to preach. And I got out of my bed, got my Bible, not my Webster, but my Bible, and turned it open to Philippians 4:13, which said, I can do all things through... I can do all things. And people but I'm not going to let that shaky body slow me down from doing what God called me to do. Little is much when God is in it. Don't ever judge a book by its. Now look at me. I held sweep party. Now, what's your part?
Alle, die im Altenpflegeheim sind, haben nichts mehr. Also wenn sie auf ihr Leben zurückgucken, die haben nichts mehr. Ihre Fähigkeiten, naja, sie sind im Altenpflegeheim, was sollen sie mit ihren Fähigkeiten? Die haben sie nicht mehr. Ihr Geld? Ein Altenpflegeplatz kostet mehr, als eigentlich ein normaler Mensch Rente kriegt. Die haben nichts mehr, kein Geld. Die haben nur noch Sozialhilfe. Ihr Wissen, veraltet. Es ist ein Altenpflegeheim und es interessiert sich niemand dafür. Ihre Kinder. Bei denen, die ich kennengelernt habe, wusste ich genau, warum die Kinder diese Menschen nicht zu Hause haben können. Das heißt, alle, die ich erlebt habe da, waren bis aufs Blut verbittert. Die haben auf ihr Leben zurückgeguckt und haben gesagt, ich habe daneben gelebt. Mein ganzes Leben war eine Fehlentscheidung. Ich habe auf Dinge gebaut, die nicht tragen. Der Standardweg ist, Geld zu verdienen, einen guten Job zu haben, gut was zu lernen, gut was zu schaffen. Und da habe ich gemerkt, dass dieser Standardweg ist eigentlich eine Lüge. Eigentlich ist alles das, was uns die Werbung sagt, mein Haus, meine Frau, mein Boot, ist eine Lüge. Es trägt nicht. Das habe ich jeden Tag gemerkt. Jeder alte Mensch hat mir jeden Tag klar gesagt, dass das, was dir erzählt wird, was wichtig ist, nicht trägt. Und in diesem Altenpflegeheim gab es auch eine alte Frau, das war eine fromme alte Frau. Der ging es schlecht, die konnte sich kaum bewegen, konnte nur im Bett sitzen, konnte nicht mehr stehen. Und das war eine der glücklichsten Frauen, die ich kennengelernt habe. Die sagte immer, ach, wenn mich der Herr Jesus irgendwann holt, das wird gut. Aber jetzt müsste ich wirklich mal vom Töpfchen runter, weil ich bin soweit fertig. Und die habe ich dann genommen und beiseite gesetzt. Die hat mir gezeigt, es gibt etwas, wofür es sich lohnt zu leben. Sie hat etwas, was sie getragen hat. Und es ging ihr nicht gut. Und sie war im Pflegeheim, ihre Kinder konnten nicht mit ihr. Aber man ging in dieses Zimmer, jeder hat das gemerkt und die Sonne geht auf. Wenn ich in ein anderes Zimmer gegangen bin, da habe ich nur verbitterte Menschen gesehen. Und da hat eigentlich auch keiner wirklich Lust hinzugehen, wenn jemand klingelt. Die klingeln nicht ohne Grund. Aber man wird eh nur angeflaumt. Aber bei dieser Frau, sie hat geklingelt und alle sagten, lass mich da mal hingehen.
Dein Gehirn weiß, wie spät es ist, selbst wenn du schläfst. Und Wissenschaftler haben herausgefunden, wie es das macht. Wenn du kurz vor deinem Wecker aufwachst, hat dein Körper dich schon eine Stunde vorher auf diesen Moment vorbereitet, obwohl du tief geschlafen hast. Das passiert wegen deinem zirkadianen Rhythmus, also der inneren 24-Stunden-Uhr in deinem Gehirn, die steuert, wann du wach oder müde bist. Wacht man oft zur gleichen Zeit auf, merkt sich das Gehirn dieses Muster und beginnt etwa eine Stunde vor der Weckzeit Stresshormone wie Cortisol auszuschütten. Diese Hormone holen dich langsam aus dem Tiefschlaf und bringen dich in leichtere Schlafphasen, damit du kurz vor dem Wecker natürlich wach wirst. Wissenschaftler nennen das Vorwegnehmen des Aufwachen, weil dein Gehirn den plötzlichen Schock eines lauten Weckers vermeiden will. Dein Körper bereitet sich wirklich darauf vor. Er erhöht deinen Herzschlag, steigert den Blutdruck und wärmt deine Körpermitte. Alles in den Minuten, bevor du eigentlich aufwachen sollst.
They've disconnected you from the heavens. The whole world used to speak one language. This language was called telepathy. We could speak by transferring thoughts through the energetic grid that surrounds us all. Tower of Babel represents this connection to the astral and mental plane. The Bible mentions this tower being cut down, symbolizes losing our connection to the higher realms. Once the tower was cut down, the whole world spoke a different language. Tower of Babel is a symbolic story representing losing the ability to telepathically communicate. Have you ever thought about someone and they magically appear on your phone? This is because we're all connected on the mental plane. Language is a spell. It molds our mind, limits our imagination, confines our thoughts to structures. Imagine thinking without your mind using a language. To gain telepathic powers, meditate for long periods of time on one intent. Focus the mind's energy and attention on one thing for long periods of time.
Here are 5 steps you can follow to see miracles instantly. And I can tell you, you will see them almost immediately from the moment you attempt to do this. First, surrender the version of you that has been striving for the approval of people. Instead, say now, I only want the approval of the Creator. Number 2, surrender the part of you who constantly dims their light so other people don't feel insecure around you. Say now, my power is endless and I will be authentic to myself, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Number 3, let go of the version of you who stays quiet just to keep the peace. Instead, say now, I desire to be a channel and will always speak from a place of care and love. Number 4, surrender the part of you who takes the blame for things that were never yours to carry. Instead, say this, I allow others to fall so they can experience their process. And number 5, always have certainty in the light of the Creator. This old version of you served its time. It was meant to be, but it's not who you are anymore. You don't owe anyone your silence, your shrinking, or your suffering. You were not born to be the effect of anyone. You were born to reveal the light of your infinite soul, and the world will love you for it. Here's a mantra for you. I release the roles I played to survive. I now rise as who I was born to be, unapologetic, aligned, and knowing I am whole within.
They'll teach you English, they'll teach you Spanish, they'll teach you any language you wish. But what they'll never teach you is the language of occult symbolism.